It was all the dark night could do to keep his teeth from chattering. The chill mountain air was thick with a dense fog that soaked into his skin, making every movement of the wind like torture. The only sounds were the crunch and clatter of his horse's hooves and his own laboured breathing. He could feel that he was drawing near to his destination, yet he could see nothing but dull grey fog and the gnarled and vicious shadows of long-dead trees. He steeled his wits and warily urged his steed onward. He knew what was to come, and it unnerved him. The prospect of death had never bothered him. He had faced it many times before, but this was something different. After today, everything would change. After today, the whole world would tremble. For the first time in his life, he was uncertain. Decades of struggle and planning were culminating into this one moment, this one action. He should have been excited, but for some reason was unable to shake his sense of foreboding. His horse spotted the edge of the precipice just before they both would have plummeted to their deaths. It reared fiercely, nearly throwing him from the saddle onto the hard, jagged stone path. Calming his nervous steed, he dismounted and walked to the cliff's edge. He strained his eyes, attempting to penetrate the fog, but could see nothing. Yet he knew what was out there. Reaching down, he picked up a small stone and tossed it over the cliff's edge, but heard nothing. "The trial begins," he thought to himself. He turned and retrieved his sword and scabbard from his saddle and fastened them to his belt. As he peered into the nothingness, his armour felt heavy and cumbersome. Feats of prowess in battle were far different from what he was about to do. Armour would certainly be a hindrance, but he dare not leave it behind. He backed away from the edge of the cliff and closed his eyes, his heart pounding in his ears. For a long moment he stood motionless as stone. Suddenly the sinews of his thick, powerful legs burst to life and propelled him forward at amazing speed. In a flash he was at the edge and jumped with a heavy grunt. Time stood still as he flew through the air. For a split second, a flash of fear filled his chest as he felt himself begin to fall, but relief and triumph quickly replaced this as his boot struck solid rock. With a great deal of effort, he managed to keep his footing and stumbled to a halt. As he slowly stepped forward, the fog lessened, and he realized he had jumped atop the first in a series of immense natural rock pillars. "At last," he muttered. Each pillar was about 8 feet apart and could easily accommodate a dozen mounted men. He could make out 12 pillars, but beyond that the fog thickened again. Experience told him not to get too excited. Nothing was ever as simple as it seemed. He could leap the distance easily enough, even with armour. However, considering the prize that awaited him, something told him there was more to it than that.